Hello guys, this is Liam here, and today this is going to be a bit of a different video. It's going to be a sort of unboxing type thing, but it's going to be about the new Legacy by DCC Concepts Bullhead track. So yeah, we'll get right into it. Right, so if you're unfamiliar with what Bullhead track is actually the style of track laying method, you could say, they used hugely in the UK up until about the 50s and 60s, I'm led to believe. Although I'm also led to believe you can still find it in parts of the network, I'm not quite sure. And on preserved lines, of course. It does actually look different to regular track because it uses a special type, a different type of rail, where it's actually almost figure of eight shaped, and it slots into what they call chairs, which are these special things that bolt the rails to the sleepers. And basically that's different to what they use now, because these days they use flathead rail, like you see on typical RTR track. So that's the difference, and also the sort of the more RTR track that you get, Pico, Hornby, Atlas, all that, they're sort of more American looking because they've got the sleepers are a smaller scale, so they're more sort of HO track and they're closer together, which is sort of a more American thing to do. Whereas with this we get lovely sleeper spacing. And a different size of sleeper as well, in comparison to what they used to be like on these RTR tracks. So we'll cover that a bit more closely in just a second. Right, so I'm just going to put this piece of track aside, because this is actually going to be an unboxing. So this is how the pieces of track come when you buy them. So they're in like a big long bag type thing, plastic packet. And as you can see, I'll just turn it around. You can see there it says Legacy Bullhead track, and it's got the barcode on it as well, just there. And so we'll open her up. Now, a point I need to make as well is that the rails have actually ruptured. It's probably not going to focus from here, but the rails have actually, hopefully you'll be able to see the outline of it at least. The rails have actually ruptured out the ends of the bag, which has not been a problem for me because this has been very well packaged, but that might be something to sort of, if you get these from if you get these from Hattons, they package them well enough for them not to be damaged, but that might be something worth looking at if you're going to buy these from a shop. Just make sure that if it is poking out the end, it's not damaged. So I have to open it from this end, so it's just folded over at the end with tape held. So undo that. Now I actually bought, each of these are a yard long, so I bought 5 of these for something which I don't believe I've mentioned on YouTube yet, so that might be a bit hush. But I can't remember whether I have mentioned it or not, but I'm fairly sure I haven't, so that's going to be a little bit hush for now. But I will make the announcement if I haven't already. But yeah, it's just a matter of actually getting them slot out. I'll just try and push it from this end. Just slowly feed it through. Once I've got hold, there it is. Right, so there we have the track. Then we've got this big long tubey thing. And at this end we've got a bit of paper which we need to get out as well. So we'll just work that out. That's it. Put that aside. Now on this piece of paper, I've already opened one of these obviously, but this is quite good as well because this is basically tells you all about what it is you've purchased and how you can use it. So on one side we've got, talking about laying and ballasting track, and that's very good, talking about track bed, first steps, cutting track, final cleanup, rail joints, fixing track down, all that sort of stuff. And then on the other side we've got soldering and wiring, so it talks about all that. First steps, drilling holes, prepare track, prepare dropper wire, how to prepare dropper wires, all that sort of stuff. and actually soldering, because something I forgot to mention is that the rails are actually stainless steel. Now, I have no reason to believe there's anything wrong with that. I know nickel silver is pretty much the way things have been going for a long time, because they used to use steel rails and they used to rust and not go so well, and I don't think they obviously didn't conduct electricity as well either. But stainless steel seems to be okay, because I mean, as long as you're using dropper wires, you should be fine in terms of conductivity. And also, the good thing about stainless steel is it is a more realistic colour than nickel silver. It's not like a goldy colour, it's actually silver. Plus, it doesn't oxidize, so you don't have to worry about cleaning your track all the time and, you know, making sure it's nice and spotless, because it's actually, it doesn't oxidize, so it's a fairly clean material to use as well. So that's quite good. Yeah, so also on the note of actually talking about the rails themselves, the actual links that you buy individually, like these ones here, don't actually come with their own fish plates, so you'd have to buy them separately. But if you buy a pack of 12, which they do, they are 55, I think, pounds off Hattons. Yes, I believe so, because you get one extra set free if you buy a 12 pack. They do come with their own fish plates as well. So I obviously had to buy a packet. They're not very expensive, you know. It's pretty good, and they come in this wee bag. Yes, I've purchased a packet of 25 of them, and they are phosphor bronze, and they've got little tiny detail on them to sort of represent that the bolts that go through between rail and fish plate for joining them, so they look quite nice as well. I suppose you could, if you're daring enough, you could try and solder to one of these for your dropper wires. I don't know if I'd recommend that really, but I mean, it could be done. So they're just going to live in there for now, but yeah, they don't look too bad either, so that's pretty good. Don't think I've mentioned this yet, but the rails are also code 75, so they're nice and to scale for what it is that you're doing if you're modelling British, which I take it you will be, obviously, if you're buying Bullhead track. So that's something else to just be cautious of, is they are code 75, so you won't really be able to use them too well with your code 100 stuff without maybe some fancy soldering or different track levels, like the piece of track here, the Hornby code 100 track. It's perfectly compatible with the Pico, but it is quite a bit taller. The rails sit higher, you know, a good couple mils higher than the rails on this. So I think I've sort of got through most of the good aspects of this, so now it's just sort of time to start looking at the bad. Now obviously I've been going on for quite a while now about the good aspects, so the bad aspects are far less, and that's why I bought so much of this track. So basically the first sort of setback is the fact that it is quite short. The sleepers are quite flat, although that does look really nice, and that is something a lot of people go for. It does mean that it will be harder to ballast, obviously, because you're spreading the ballast, and so the ballast is going to have to be flatter, and that could be quite hard to spread. I haven't actually tried it yet, but I've been reading up online, and a few people are saying that, because C&L track is the same. It's got quite flat sleepers, so it yes, apparently it is harder to ballast, but I'll have to get back to you on that one from my own experience. Another thing is that it is obviously comes in long lengths, and that does mean that postage, at least to New Zealand, is quite pricey. I ended up paying £26 to get this over here. It's normally for a Hattons order for me, it's normally between £3 and £6 to get it here in a week or so. That's really, really good, actually, given it's, you know, halfway across the world. But because these are so long, and I suppose they're relatively fragile as well, it does cost quite a bit to get them over to New Zealand. I don't know what it's like in the UK, but if you're buying these online, just be prepared that there might be a wee bit more money goes into postage than normal if you're used to buying off a site like Hatton's. Another thing is obviously that the rails being stainless steel means they're going to be very, very hard to solder to. Obviously, because stainless steel is one of the hardest things to weld, and so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But Legacy do make stainless steel solder, but still, really, I mean, what ideally, that's the one advantage that nickel silver definitely has over stainless steel, is that it's a lot easier to solder to. So that's a wee bit of a setback, really, because I mean, you know, soldering is quite an important part of most track work, especially on an exhibition layout, and with DCC layouts as well. I run DC, so I don't have to worry about it as much, but I mean, I'm still wanting to, you know, do a bit of wiring, especially, you know, when it's a modular layout. Obviously, I'm going to need to solder where the layouts, the modules join together and all that sort of stuff. So another sort of minor setback, I guess. But to be honest, I do actually think this is very good. It's the first, I believe it's the first RTR Bullhead track, and I made a post and put it on Facebook when this arrived earlier today, and the feedback I got was fairly positive, really. You know, some people were saying, you know, C&L is better. I have no experience with C&L, so I can't actually say, but I believe C&L is actually kit built. So again, I think this is the first proper RTR Bullhead track, and I think for a first go at it, I think it's pretty damn good, actually. Also, given the fact that because the rest of the Bullhead track available, you have to either scratch build or kit build. I think there's definitely a market to be tapped with here, and I think DCC Concepts setting up their legacy department and getting them to, you know, and producing this sort of stuff at a very good price. They really have got their thinking caps on here. Not to mention the fact that £5 roughly converts to about between $9 and $10 over in New Zealand, and at the moment with the exchange rate, and that's actually very competitive over here for track. For a yard length of Pico Flexi track, you're looking at about the same price. So this is actually very competitive as well. I do believe this is made in Australia, so I'd say that would be the reason for it being such a competitive price, and I do think that is very good that they've done that, and it's not ridiculously expensive for only the fine scale modelers to sort of enjoy. Anyone who wants to start a model railway on a relatively you know, mid to lowish budget can or should be able to afford this, and I think that is definitely one of the major pluses about this. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a bit of a different one to what I'd normally do, and I thought I'd just put this wee video together because I thought it was semi-important to show you guys, you know, that this is out there, and if you're interested in it, then definitely this is it gets my tick of approval. I'm very, very happy with it. Just another thing before I finish is, forgot to mention, is that points are a bit of an issue, because you can get Bullhead points, but they are only available in kit form at this stage. I do believe Legacy are working on making RTR Bullhead point kits, just points, ready to run, but I don't know when they're coming out, or if it's official or not. I'd have to really read up on that, but for now, yeah, regular code 75 points and some careful placement of maybe some C&L individual chairs could work. I've seen photos of it done, it looks pretty good. So that's probably what I'll be doing with this. But yeah, no, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this wee video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Also check us out on Facebook at Foxford and Beeching Model Railways. That page is literally just the other day gotten 100 likes, and I did not expect that either. I was sort of thinking maybe, you know, for the more close viewers of the channel, maybe they'd, you know, give it a like, maybe get up to about 50. Just so it's a bit of where I upload behind the scenes sort of stuff of what I do on the layouts, and, you know, more regular sort of updates in photo form. So yeah, give that a like if you've enjoyed this and you want to see sort of more about what I do. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.